What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I just want to share one of my niche little collections I've got that I keep in this CD wallet, the same CD wallet that most of these got mailed in. I collected these ages ago, and if you've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title, you already know what it is. It is the complete set of PlayStation Magazine PlayStation 2 demo disc. Now, this took me a while to get. Not every disc at first was PlayStation 2, like something you'll notice right away here. Issue 49, issue 51. That's because issue 50 was a PlayStation 1 disc. Or maybe there was no disc at all, but I'm pretty sure it was a PS1 disc. At first, they were doing alternating releases. See, again, 51, 52, 53, 55. Then it went 56, 57. Then they started going in order. But they were still alternating at first with PlayStation 1 disc. Now, I don't know how many of you were really into PlayStation Magazine or the PlayStation Underground. That was their demo disc series that came with their magazines. I loved them, man. That was such a special time in gaming where you could buy a magazine and get a damn demo disc with everything on there that you found, like all the new and interesting stuff. Now, granted, as time went on, I feel like the demo disc became less and less interesting, but my hype for them never drowned down. And so I thought we would just take some time to look at them, take a short little tour. I'm not going to show any gameplay footage. I don't really do anything like that in my videos. This is more just to appreciate the fact that these things exist, to enjoy their artwork, and to maybe discuss some of my memories with some of the discs. Because some of these ones I played a lot more than others, that's for damn sure. Especially as you get like later. By then I wasn't really collecting them anymore. In fact, I used to have a collection like this thick of CDs just stacked, and I sold them at a garage sale for like, I think it was like 20 bucks. Many years ago. Many years ago. So anyways, this first disc is super cool because it's got a ton of footage from E3 that year. In fact, there was like a mobile machine that had cameras on top that looked in all directions, and you can watch a video where it's driving and you're seeing from the views of the camera, and you can use the joystick to look in a full 360 around E3. Really neat. That was super unique. There's some cool interviews with people about the making of like Silent Hill 2 on here. I think, I could be mistaken, but I think this is the demo disc that has like a demo for Parappa the Rapper 2 on it. I used to play the hell out of that demo. I do remember this one being good too. Can't quite recall what's on it. That's probably going to be the case for most of these, but for right now, let's just take a look. I played the heck out of the Final Fantasy X demo. It was just that opening segment with the opening cutscene, you know, with the Blitzball game, and then it went straight into the attack from Sin and Xanarkand. And it played all the way up to where you and Auron get absorbed into the light, and then the demo ended. But I always loved, man, I just love this art. This art is so good. Brings back a lot of memories, man. I bought Final Fantasy X right when it dropped, too. I paid full price for that. I bought Final Fantasy X and Parappa the Rapper 2 in the same night at full price, and I believe I paid $101 and some change for them. I do remember messing around with this demo disc quite a bit, too. Don't remember quite what's on it, but you gotta love Maximo, one of the forgotten characters from that era. I believe he exists in the Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghost and Goblins, whatever you want to call it, series by Capcom. Maximo was kind of like them trying to take that into the next gen. There were 2 Maximo games, otherwise it didn't really go anywhere. This is a golf ball. It's for Hot Shots Golf. I do remember playing this demo disc. I don't remember quite what was on it. You got a Call of Duty game here. Not a first-person shooter fan. Certainly not a Call of Duty fan. Can't quite recall what was on this one. Yeah, Mr. Mosquito. I used to play the heck out of this demo, man. I remember this disc as well. Can't quite recall what else is on there. Again, I'm probably going to stop saying that because that's going to be the case for most of these. But it is just kind of cool to get to look at the full set. And low-key, Britney's Dance Beat. It was a rhythm game based off music from Britney Spears. Never been a Britney Spears fan per se, but the game, it wasn't awful. It was okay. You know, I used to like the rhythm games where you would press the face buttons. I was a big fan of Dance Dance Revolution, but I never messed with it on the D+Pad. I only used the face buttons. That's just kind of how I enjoyed to play it. Yeah, this was the demo disc that had Time Splitters 2 on it. Time Splitters 2 was dope, man. If you haven't played Time Splitters 2, you're missing out. I believe it was the first game made, or I guess Time Splitters 1 would have been, but it was the first major game made by the same team, or a lot of the people from the same team that made GoldenEye. They'd broken out and became their own company called Free Radical. And they made the Time Splitters games, and Time Splitters 2 demo is super strong. It takes place in that snowy facility stage. It's a really long demo. That game's pretty challenging too. Had some zombies in it. Love this disc too, man. I remember this one just as much as I remember the Final Fantasy X one. Love the art of Kingdom Hearts. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. And the first game is just there ain't another entry like it. It's magical, man. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, I don't know if you can see it from here. There might be too much glare. Way too much glare. I got a Sora Funko Pop and a Sora Amiibo. Oh boy. So yeah, let's check out what's next, man. Sly Cooper. Yeah, Sly Cooper, issue 62. I do remember playing that. Do remember thinking it was pretty cool, but it couldn't hold a candle to Ratchet and Clank as far as I was concerned. You got some Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was huge back then, man. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. I believe this might have been for Pro Skater 4, but it might have been 3. It might have actually been 3 now that I think about it. Yeah. I can't remember what was on that disc, but I do remember the Shinobi disc. I thought the Shinobi game was fun. I thought it was cool, but I could tell it probably wouldn't be a game that would keep my attention long term, so I ultimately didn't get it. In hindsight, I should have gotten more into Sly Cooper, but I think it was more of a budget thing. It was like Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank. I couldn't afford to enjoy both franchises, so I had to pick one, and I chose Ratchet and Clank. I've played Sly Cooper since then, and I loved it. I thought Sly Cooper 1 was awesome. I still haven't gotten around to playing the other 2, but all I hear is that 2 is the best. Shinobi ended up getting a sequel, too, called Nightshade, where you play as like a female ninja, and I remember that being really dope. Man, The Getaway. The Getaway was a huge game when it was announced. People were really excited about The Getaway. I always thought it was a little clunky, a little awkward, but ultimately really cool. I remember my brother playing it, and I think he really enjoyed it, but I've never given that game a full shot. I should check that out someday. I think this was for Zone of the Enders 2, if I remember correctly. Another game that I have still yet to play, but I plan to. I have the PS4 version. I want to try it in VR, and if I can handle it in VR, that's how I'm going to play it. If not, I'll just play it regularly. I did beat the PS3 port of Zone of the Enders 1 not that long ago, and I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. Amplitude, the sequel to Frequency, a really fun rhythm game that not enough people talk about. It has multiple tracks, and each track is for a different instrument for each song, including vocals has its own track. And yeah, you just gotta stay on rhythm, play them, and if you get enough of these combos, then that track will play that instrument for a limited time until you come back to it. Amplitude's dope. I remember playing the heck out of that demo. Again, something I should have said at the start. My goodness. These demo discs aren't just for one game. They have several demos on them, several trailers on them, usually like a games tips video on, like, they call them cool moves, and it's people who worked at the magazine trying to teach you how to, like, kind of cheese a fight or skip a level in a game, or how to, like, get through a tough part in a game. And there's more stuff too. I think there's like downloadable saves and things like that, and there's probably other content I'm forgetting as well. Splinter Cell was dope. I always considered it more of an Xbox series than a PlayStation series, but Splinter Cell is definitely dope. I liked Enter the Matrix back in the day. I knew it was clunky. I knew it was pretty bad, but I still liked it. Can't remember what was on that demo, though. NBA Street Volume 2, I believe. I don't think this one was Volume 3. I think this was 2. I was a big NBA Street 1 fan. To me, it's the best basketball game after NBA Jam. Really loved NBA Street 1. 2 is when they started getting a little over the top for me. I wasn't necessarily a big fan of all the flipping dunks and stuff like that. But in hindsight, if I went back to it, I'd probably have a great time. People always seem to love 2. Ape Escape. I'm pretty sure this is for Ape Escape 2, but it might have been 3. I can't remember what was on this demo. I don't even think I ever played Ape Escape's demo, but I know I had this disc back in the day. Not much I can say about that one, but then you got Soul Calibur. I'm pretty sure this is for Soul Calibur 2. Always a classic. Gotta love Soul Calibur. And then this is probably like SSX 3, maybe. I doubt it's Tricky. Tricky always had the Afro guy. It might not be an SSX game. It might be something else, but we're already up to issue 73. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Everybody loves Sands of Time, man. That game was dope. You could like rewind time and try again. Really cool game. My brother really liked this one. I never actually played it myself, but I've always wanted to. Final Fantasy X-2, again. Amazing art, man. Look at that. That's so cool. Still haven't gotten too much into 2. Every time I pick it up and try to play it, I just fall off. Honestly, don't know what this is. This might be like Rainbow Six or Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon or something. Not sure. I remember playing this one a lot, but I can't tell you what was on it. This blue camo. No clue what was on this one, but I do remember liking this disc. Oh man, James Bond, Everything or Nothing. In my opinion, the absolute best James Bond game. GoldenEye is a close second, but Everything or Nothing is so freaking good. I don't feel like there's another James Bond game that makes you feel more like James Bond than this one, and it was a really fun third-person game. I personally got tired of the first-person James Bond game. This game was sick. If you've never played 007 Everything or Nothing, you're doing yourself a disservice. Check it out. Lifeline, a game where you talk into a microphone and control the character 100% via microphone, but unfortunately, it did not understand English very well. I've always wanted to give this game a real shot, but again, I could just never get it to work that well. So maybe one day. I remember playing other games on this demo disc, but I don't remember what they were. Another one of those ones, it's probably Rainbow Six or Ghost Recon or something along those lines. I honestly couldn't tell you. One of the Transformers games, which I've only heard good things about, but I've never personally played. Not a huge Transformers fan, although I did watch it as a kid. I certainly preferred Beast Wars, though. Baseball game, sure it was like MLB Slugfest or something. I had this demo disc too as a kid. I don't remember what I played on it. What even is this? Is this like Indigo Prophecy or something? Or, oh, Siren maybe? This might be Siren. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I had a demo disc that did have Siren on it, and I thought Siren was spooky and really good. Probably Gran Turismo here if I had to guess. Not certain on that. Maybe a Need for Speed. Probably not, though. Def Jam Fight for New York. Absolute classic. If you know, you know. It's one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Way too slept on, even with like the cult following it has and some of the notoriety it gets now. Still underappreciated and slept on. Fight for New York. Absolutely incredible game. We need a sequel or a re-release. Couldn't tell you. Maybe Spec Ops The Line or something like that. The Line. I think that was a PS3 game. But maybe a Spec Ops game. I'm not quite sure. I don't think this was like MGS3. It might be, though. Kind of resembles Solid Snake, but I don't think so. He's missing the eye patch. Killzone. Played the hell out of this demo. Thought Killzone was really dope. Picked the game up and ultimately didn't really play it that much. Only thought it was okay when I actually got to play through it. But the demo had me hooked. Prince of Persia, The Warrior Within. That's the second one. Again, never played these games, but pretty cool. I don't know what this game is either. What is this? I'm trying to like look at the character model. It's not Freedom Fighters, is it? No, definitely not. It's just like, this ain't the thing. It looks like a war game. Not sure, but I had this demo disc too when I was a kid. I just can't remember what was on it. Anyway. Nah, I don't know what that is. This looks more like Gran Turismo to me. Maybe that other game was like Midnight Club or something. Isn't this game called like Dark Watch or is this Oddworld Stranger's Wrath? I'm not sure. I don't think this is... No, this isn't Stranger's Wrath. I think this is that game called Dark Watch, if I remember correctly. First-person game. Supposed to be really good, but I never played it. Once this font changed, if you notice the font now is different on the issues, this was when I really stopped buying them as much and started buying them a lot less. We're approaching the finish line here. Yeah, Lego Star Wars. Everybody knows about Lego Star Wars. God of War. I think I had this one, but I wasn't a big God of War fan back then. I love it now, though. Destroy All Humans, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks for sure. This one was really good. I remember messing around with it a little bit. Shadow of the Colossus, bro. You gotta love that art on that demo disc, man. That is slick. Soul Calibur 3 for Shizzle. The King Kong game, the movie The Game. What's it called? The Matrix Neo or something? Path of Neo. Yeah, I never actually played that one. I've heard good things, though. Some other Tom Clancy game, probably. Have no freaking clue. Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, the fourth Onimusha game. I find that game to be kind of fun, but boy, howdy, did that series lose its way. Black, one of the most, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Anticipated first-person shooters at that time. People were really hyped for Black. Never played it, but I've heard good things. One of the Tomb Raider games, can't quite recall if this was, I don't think, this might have been Legend, but I can't recall if Legend, no, Anniversary was the remake. This might have been Legend. I fell off the Tomb Raider games extra hard, so I couldn't tell you. At least it's not Angel of Darkness. One of the Hitman games, I think this might be Blood Money, maybe Contracts, I'm not sure. Haven't played Hitman games, but I do plan on playing them in VR on the PS4. Cars, Yakuza, the original, man. Yakuza, the original. Pretty good time. I've messed around with it before, but I beat Kiwami. I didn't actually play the original. This is kind of goofy. Lego Star Wars. They got 2 discs in a row. That's kind of funny. And then they already had a 3rd disc. So, fun little trivia. what appeared on PlayStation Magazine's disc more than any series? Lego Star Wars, apparently, unless you count Tom Clancy. And then we got Guitar Hero 2, probably, maybe 3 by this point. Yeah, probably 3. The Dot Hack games, the later ones, not the first 4. And then it ended with Flushed Away. Way to go out on a wet fart, man. The demo disc ultimately had less and less features as time went on. I felt like they held less and less interesting games for me. They used to really focus on some of these unique titles that were coming out, and then they just kind of became a little more mainstream. I got a few bonus items. I've got a DVD player version 2.12 disc in here. I've got the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo disc. I've got the Namco Transmission Volume 1.03 demo disc. I have no clue what this is. An Amplitude demo disc. A Welcome to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 3 Network welcome disc. Is that it? Is that all that's in here? Really? I thought I had the Resident Evil 3 demo in here, but I might have sold that actually. So anyways, the early years of these are the ones, if you're ever interested in getting these early ones are the ones you really want to get. Issues 49, I'd say through... Probably about issues all the way up to like issue 80, I'd say, is where it's nice and strong. A lot of fun, cool content. And then after that, I don't know. It was just like they just weren't investing as much into it. It started to feel like something that just wasn't as exciting to come to, wasn't as exciting to get in your hands. Didn't have as much content. Wasn't as interesting, but I always had fun with these. I collected these a while back. I'm kind of surprised they've survived so long in my collection. I've sold off a lot of things, but I just feel like I'll never want to bother getting all these again, and I can't like find these online in some sort of database. So to me, they're worth holding on to because I do think I'll take a tour down memory lane someday, at least for the disc I really enjoy. I might at some point go through each disc and just keep the ones I really like. But yeah, just a fun little piece of my collection I thought I'd share. Hopefully some of you got a kick out of that. I know it's niche as niche can be, but hey, it is what it is. That's the PlayStation 2, PlayStation Magazine, PlayStation 2 demo disc collection. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Not something you see every day. And appreciate you guys for hanging out. Let me know if you played any of these discs down below, what you thought of them. If you've got any fun memories with them, I'd love to hear about it. It's always fun to vibe out with you guys, have fun conversations. So hit your boy up. Appreciate you for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.